What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of our English Learning Podcast. I am David.
And I am Sophia. And today we are going to talk about something that almost no English course ever teaches you. But trust me, this is something you are going to need in real life.
Today we are going inside the hospital. We are talking about hospital English, how to talk to a doctor, how to communicate with a nurse, and how to handle a visit to the pharmacy, all in English.
And here is my promise to you right now. By the end of this episode, you are going to feel confident. You are going to have real phrases inside your head that you can actually use, not textbook sentences, real ones.
But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where you were not feeling well and you had to explain your problem in English and your mind just went completely blank? You knew you were in pain, but the words just would not come out.
That moment is one of the most frustrating feelings for an English learner. And I want you to know something important. It's not because your English is bad. It's because nobody ever taught you these specific words for these specific situations. And that is going to change today.
We've been doing this podcast for a while now, and hospital English is one of the top requests we get from our listeners. So we heard you, and here we are.
All right, so let's start from the very beginning. You are not feeling well. You decide to go to the hospital or a clinic. The first person you will meet is usually the receptionist at the front desk.
The receptionist will ask you a simple question. They might say, "How can I help you?" Or they might say, "What brings you in today?" Both of these phrases mean the same thing. They want to know why you are there and what the problem is.
And your answer can be very simple. You can say, "I'm not feeling well and I would like to see a doctor." Or you can say, "I've been having some pain and I want to get checked out." Short, clear, and easy. That's all you need.
Now, here is something really important that a lot of learners do not realize. When you walk into a hospital, you do not need perfect English. You do not need to speak like a professor. You just need to be clear about what you feel. And we are going to show you exactly how to do that.
Okay, now let us jump into our vocabulary section. This is where we pick the most important words for today and we break them down with real examples. These are the words that will serve you the most in a hospital situation.
The first word is symptom. A symptom is a sign of an illness, something your body does or feels when something is wrong. For example, you can say, "I have been having symptoms for 3 days now." Or you can say, "My main symptom is a sore throat."
The second word is appointment. An appointment is a scheduled time to see a doctor. You can say, "I would like to make an appointment." Or you can say, "I have an appointment at 2 o'clock this afternoon." This is one of the first words you will need.
The third word is prescription. A prescription is a written note from the doctor that tells you what medicine to take and how to take it. You can say, "The doctor gave me a prescription." Or you can say, "I need to go to the pharmacy to fill my prescription."
The fourth word is dizzy. Dizzy means you feel like the room is spinning or you feel unsteady on your feet. You can say, "I've been feeling dizzy since this morning." Or you can say, "I feel dizzy when I stand up too quickly."
Say all 4 words out loud with us right now. Symptom, appointment, prescription, dizzy. One more time together. Symptom, appointment, prescription, dizzy. Great job.
Now let us talk about pain, because when you are in a hospital and the doctor asks you to describe your pain, there are specific English words that make it very easy for doctors to understand you.
Sharp pain means a pain that feels like a knife or a needle going through you. You can say, "I have a sharp pain in my chest," or "I feel a sharp pain when I breathe in deeply."
Dull pain means a pain that is not very strong, but it's always there in the background. You can say, "I have a dull pain in my lower back," or "There's a dull ache in my shoulder that will not go away."
Throbbing pain means a pain that comes and goes in a rhythm, almost like a heartbeat pulsing. You can say, "I have a throbbing pain in my head," Or, my tooth has been throbbing since last night.
Burning pain means exactly what it sounds like. It feels like heat or fire in that area. You can say, I have a burning pain in my stomach, or there's a burning feeling in my throat when I swallow.
4 pain descriptions: sharp, dull, throbbing, and burning. When you use these words with a doctor, they will immediately know what is happening. These words are powerful and they are simple.
And now I want to stop for just a second and say something to everyone listening. You might be thinking, okay, this is a lot of information. Can I really remember all of this?
And the answer is yes, absolutely yes. But here's the thing, you do not have to remember it all at once. That is not how learning works. You listen, you absorb a little, you come back, you listen again, and slowly it all settles in your mind.
That is how every single fluent English speaker learned, not in one day, not in one perfect study session, but by coming back again and again and building up piece by piece. And every time you listen to an episode like this one, you are doing exactly that.
All right, we have built a really solid foundation in this first section. You know how to check in at the reception, you know 4 important vocabulary words, and you know how to describe 4 types of pain in English.
In the next part, we are going to take all of this and put it into a real conversation. We're going to walk through a full doctor conversation step by step, and then we're going to do a shadowing practice together so you can actually feel these sentences in your mouth.
Trust me, you do not want to miss that. Shadowing is one of the fastest ways to improve your spoken English, and we are going to do it together.
In the first part, we covered the key vocabulary, words like symptom, appointment, prescription, and dizzy. And we talked about how to describe 4 types of pain: sharp, dull, throbbing, and burning. If you missed that, go back and listen first.
Now we are going to do something really exciting. We are going to walk through a full, real doctor conversation together. And then we are going to practice shadowing so you can say these sentences yourself and make them feel natural.
Shadowing is one of the best techniques for improving your spoken English quickly. You listen to a sentence and then you repeat it right away, trying to match the speed, the tone, and the rhythm. It trains your mouth and your brain at the same time.
And the reason shadowing works so well is because speaking is a physical skill. Your mouth needs to practice making these sounds and these patterns. Just reading English in your head is not the same as actually saying it out loud. Your mouth needs the practice too.
So during the shadowing section, please do not just listen. Say the sentences out loud with us. Even if you are in a public place, say it quietly, but say it. That's where the real learning happens.
Okay, let's walk through a doctor conversation now. Sophia is going to play the doctor, and I am going to be the patient. Listen to the whole thing first without repeating. Just listen and follow along.
Good morning. How are you feeling today? What brings you in?
Good morning, doctor. I have not been feeling well for the past 2 days. I have a sore throat, a fever, and I feel very tired all the time.
I see. Is the pain in your throat sharp or more of a dull ache?
It's more sharp, especially when I swallow, and my fever started yesterday night.
Okay. Are you currently taking any medications?
No, I'm not taking any medications right now, but I did take some paracetamol last night to bring down the fever.
All right. I'm going to examine your throat and check your temperature. Have you ever had any allergic reactions to medications in the past?
Not that I know of, doctor.
Okay, wonderful. Did you follow that conversation? Now let's go back and pull out the most useful phrases.
The first phrase is, I have not been feeling well for the past 2 days. This is a perfect opening sentence when you start talking to a doctor. It tells them 2 things at once: what the problem is and how long it has been going on.
Practice saying it with us now. I have not been feeling well for the past 2 days. Now change the time to make it your own. I have not been feeling well for the past 3 days. I have not been feeling well since Monday. Say your version out loud.
The second phrase is, especially when I swallow. This structure is so useful. You can use it to describe when your pain gets worse. The pain is worse especially when I move. It hurts especially when I breathe deeply, especially when I wake up in the morning.
The third phrase is, not that I know of. This is one of those phrases that immediately sounds natural and native. When you are not completely sure about something, you say, not that I know of. It is polite, honest, and natural all at once.
Now let us do our shadowing practice. I'm going to say a sentence, and right after I finish, you repeat it. Try to copy my speed and my tone as closely as you can. Here we go. I have not been feeling well for the past 2 days.
Say it again. I have not been feeling well for the past 2 days.
I have a sharp pain in my chest.
Repeat after us. I have a sharp pain in my chest.
I am not taking any medications right now.
Your turn. I am not taking any medications right now.
The fever started yesterday night.
One more time. The fever started yesterday night.
Could you explain that again, please?
Say it with us. Could you explain that again, please?
Beautiful. How did that feel? If you said those sentences out loud, your mouth is already learning the shape of these phrases. That's real progress happening right now.
And I want to add something here. A lot of English learners are afraid to ask the doctor to repeat themselves or to explain again. They feel embarrassed. They think it makes them look bad.
But here is the truth. Asking someone to explain again is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you care about understanding correctly. And in a medical situation, understanding correctly is incredibly important.
So always feel free to say, could you say that again, please? Or, I'm sorry, I did not quite catch that. Or, could you explain what that means in simpler terms? Doctors hear these things all the time, and they are always happy to help.
Now, let's talk about what happens after the doctor examines you. After the examination, the doctor will usually tell you what they think is wrong and what they are going to do about it. There are some phrases you should recognize here.
The doctor might say, it looks like you have a throat infection, or your results show that you have a mild fever, or I'm going to prescribe you some antibiotics. When you hear these phrases, you will know exactly what is happening.
And if the doctor uses a word you don't understand, it's completely okay to ask. You can say, I'm sorry, what does that mean exactly? Or, can you explain that in simpler words, please? No doctor will ever be bothered by that question.
Now, I want to pause for a moment and talk to you as a person, not just as an English learner.
Go ahead, Sophia, because I think this is important.
If you are someone who sometimes feels like you are falling behind, or like other people are learning faster than you, or like maybe you started too late, I want you to hear this. Learning a language is not a race. There is no finish line where someone stamps your paper and says, you made it.
Every single person who speaks English fluently went through a period where they felt confused, slow, and unsure. Every single one. The difference between those who made it and those who stopped is just one thing. They kept going.
And you are keeping going right now. You chose to spend your time on this episode. You practiced the shadowing. You are building something real, and that deserves respect. All right, coming up in our final part, we are going to talk about the pharmacy and how to talk to a nurse. We also have a second shadowing practice and a bonus vocabulary section.
All right, everyone, welcome to the final part of today's episode. We have already covered so much together. The reception, key vocabulary, a full doctor conversation, our first shadowing practice, and some real talk about the learning journey.
Now, in this final part, we are going to talk about two more important situations, the pharmacy and how to communicate with a nurse. Plus, we have one more shadowing practice and some bonus vocabulary coming your way.
Let us start with the pharmacy. The pharmacy is a place you will visit very often, even when you are not seriously sick. You might need to buy medicine for a cold, pick up a prescription the doctor gave you, or ask a question about side effects.
When you walk into a pharmacy, the pharmacist might ask you, "Do you have a prescription?" And you can say, "Yes, here is my prescription." Or, "No, I do not have a prescription, but I'm looking for something for a cough and cold."
You can also say, "The doctor prescribed this for me," or "I need to pick up my prescription." The pharmacist will immediately understand and guide you to the next step.
Now, there are 3 very useful questions you should know how to ask at a pharmacy. These 3 questions will handle almost any situation you face there.
The first question is, how do I take this medicine? This is asking for instructions, and the pharmacist will say something like, take 1 tablet twice a day with food, or take 2 capsules every 8 hours.
The second question is, are there any side effects I should know about? This shows you're being careful and responsible. The pharmacist will usually tell you the most common things to watch out for.
The third question is it safe to take this together with my other medication? If you are already taking something else, this question is very important. It's a safety question, and pharmacists take it very seriously.
Now let's do our second shadowing practice, this time with pharmacy phrases. Same as before, listen to the sentence and then say it out loud right after. Go.
I need to pick up my prescription, please.
Say it. I need to pick up my prescription, please.
How many times a day should I take this?
Repeat. How many times a day should I take this?
Are there any side effects I should know about?
Your turn. Are there any side effects I should know about?
Is there a less expensive version of this medicine?
One more. Is there a less expensive version of this medicine?
That's excellent practice. You are building a real English toolkit right now, and that's what separates someone who studied English from someone who actually speaks English in real life.
Now, let's talk about nurses, because when you're in the hospital for longer, or when you're in the emergency room, the nurse is actually the person you'll spend the most time with, not the doctor.
Nurses check on you regularly. They take your blood pressure, they give you your medicine, they ask you questions, and they explain what is happening. So being able to understand and respond to a nurse is very important.
Some common things a nurse might say to you are, "I'm going to take your blood pressure now," or "Can you rate your pain on a scale from 1 to 10?" or "Are you allergic to any medications?"
That pain scale question is a very standard thing in hospitals. The nurse is asking you to give your pain a number from 1 to 10. 1 means very little pain, 10 means the worst pain you have ever felt in your life. You can simply say, "My pain is around a 7 right now," or "It is about a 4.
And you can also ask the nurse questions. You can say, "When will the doctor come to see me?" Or, "How long do I need to stay here?" Or, "Is it okay if I drink water right now?" These are all perfectly natural questions.
Never feel shy about asking these things. Nurses are there to help you feel comfortable and informed. Asking questions is not a bother to them. It is literally their job to answer you.
All right, let us do our final vocabulary section. These are 3 bonus words that will make you sound even more confident and prepared in a hospital setting.
The first word is allergic. To be allergic to something means your body has a bad reaction to it. You can say, "I am allergic to penicillin," or "I am allergic to peanuts." Doctors and nurses will always ask about allergies before giving you medicine, so knowing this word is essential.
The second word or phrase is blood pressure. Blood pressure is the force of your blood pushing through your arteries. A nurse might say, "Your blood pressure is a little high today," or "We need to keep an eye on your blood pressure." It's a very common phrase in any hospital.
The third word is discharge. When a doctor discharges you, it means they are telling you that you can leave the hospital and go home. You can say, "The doctor said I can be discharged tomorrow," or "I'm waiting for my discharge papers." This is a word you will definitely hear.
3 more powerful words: allergic, blood pressure, discharge. Take a second and make up one sentence for each of these words in your head right now. Just one sentence each. Go ahead.
All right, we are coming to the end of today's episode, and before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to talk to you honestly.
Because this episode was packed with a lot of content, and some of you might be feeling a little overwhelmed right now, and that's completely okay.
Here's what I want you to do after this episode. Do not try to memorize everything at once. Instead, pick just 3 phrases from today that you liked the most. Write them down somewhere and say them out loud at least once tomorrow morning.
3 phrases. That's it. Just 3. And then come back and listen to this episode again in a few days. The second time you listen, you'll notice that you already remember things from the first time.
And this is what consistency does. It is not about studying for 5 hours on one day. It is about doing a little bit every single day. Every episode you listen to, every phrase you practice, every time you choose to learn instead of giving up, you are building something real.
You are building a version of yourself who can walk into a hospital in an English-speaking country, talk to the doctor clearly, ask the nurse the right questions, and pick up medicine at the pharmacy without stress. That version of you is closer than you think.
And the beautiful thing is, every English skill you build in one area helps all the other areas too. When you practice hospital English, you are also getting better at speaking clearly, describing things in detail, and asking for information politely. These skills go everywhere with you.
So let us do a quick recap of everything we covered in this entire episode. In part 1, we talked about checking in at the reception and covered our main vocabulary: symptom, appointment, prescription, and dizzy. We also learned how to describe 4 types of pain: sharp, dull, throbbing, and burning.
In part 2, we walked through a complete doctor conversation. We practiced shadowing together, and we talked about how to ask the doctor to explain things again without feeling embarrassed.
In part 3, we covered the pharmacy and learned 3 key questions to ask there. We talked about communicating with a nurse and the pain scale, and we added 3 bonus words to your vocabulary: allergic, blood pressure, and discharge.
That is a full episode of real, practical, useful English, and you made it through the whole thing. Please take a moment to acknowledge that. You showed up for yourself today.
Now, we want to ask you one thing. Think about the next time you might need to use English in a real situation. Maybe it's at a hospital, maybe it's somewhere else, but start imagining yourself using these phrases confidently, because that picture in your mind is actually the first step to making it real.
And if you want to keep building your English with us, we have a new episode coming up very soon where we're going to talk about English for job interviews. Because after you master everyday and medical English, the next challenge for a lot of learners is professional English, and we're going to walk you through that together.
The link for that episode is going to be in the description below. Go check it out after this.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. It genuinely means a lot to us that you are here, learning and growing every single day.
Keep going, keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, because you absolutely have what it takes to speak English with confidence. We'll see you in the next episode.